Okay, so I've walked back to where Meralda's area is. Um, I'm gonna go get the colorless demon soul. I haven't gone back to the Nexus yet because remember, once I kill Meralda, if I go back to the Nexus, it's gonna register my world tendency, and Meralda, this area will be closed off to me. So always make sure that you get Meralda and the colorless demon soul in one run. The issue with doing both at the same time that I found is that getting the colorless demon soul is just a pain. And most people would like to spend their souls and level up because there's a very large chance I'm not going to be able to get my souls back if I don't do this right. Because, yeah, Demon Souls and Dark Souls platforming isn't amazing, and you have to climb on these rafters and fall down several series of these rafters. And it's very dangerous, and I'm not good at platformers. I do not have balance in video games. I'm going to fall and I'm going to die. Oh my god. Uh, okay, so that's a colorless demon soul. That's used for upgrading legendary weapons. They're really important. This one I always miss. I think I got it this time though. Yes. Okay, so I survived. I just survived that. I'm amazing. Oh god. Okay. So now you can get the brushwood armor, but it's really heavy, and I don't think I have the item ring because I didn't give the jade comb to what's his face. But I really don't want to use the brushwood armor set, so I'm not gonna get it. I really don't care about it. Brushwood armor is just stupid heavy. It's not really worth getting unless you have crazy amounts of endurance and strength, which I don't have yet. Um, yeah, I'm not even gonna bother with it. But for those of you who know who Bjor of the Twin Fangs is or have seen him in the loading screens, that's what the brushwood armor set looks like. It's just really big, clunky, makes you look really fat. Um, but it's really heavy. It's pretty much the Havel's armor of this game. Only because there's item burden, you can't pick it up. But you can actually fix the item burden really easily. Somebody else was complaining about the item burden in this game, but there's actually a ring for that. So if you ever just need to pick up heavy items like that, you can just slap the ring on, and everything is good. But it's a matter of getting the ring, which I forgot to do before I came here, which is kind of a mistake on my part, but whatever. Not important. I'm actually gonna give Stockpile Thomas the comb, the jade comb. I picked it up in Boletaria 101, jade hair ornament. And
I'm well, but I would
I'm just gonna skip through this because it's gonna take a long time because he talks a lot.
like
But you pretty much just want to keep talking to him, then you exit the dialogue, then you talk to him again.
that hairpin that belongs to my daughter. Then she didn't make it after all. May I ask, would you mind giving up that hairpin? Yes, thank you. It's not. But
Blah
it's
blah blah. Yeah, so he gives you that, and that's the one that boosts your item burden.
rest assured.
It's in trade with your.
Okay, so there's a very high chance I'm probably gonna get invaded for low level ganking in this next area. It's a very popular area.
The soul of the mind, key to life's.
So that'll be fun.
Soul of the lost, withdrawn, soul of out.
Still alive? I am impressed. This is something that might interest you. The black-robed maiden of the Nexus looks after the flames.
What are you doing?
Oops.
Even I will not just sit back and take it.
Uh-oh. My bad. But yeah, that was the crestfallen warrior that you guys know in Dark Souls. So, once again, I'm going to try to run through this really quick. Maybe I'll be able to summon somebody, and you guys can see what the summon system is kind of like in this game. See if anybody's on. It's Monday in the morning, so I doubt that. Maybe is it Sunday? It's Sunday. What am I talking about? So people should be online, so I should be seeing soul signs somewhere, but I suppose not. If I see soul signs, I'll summon somebody. And then, yeah. You get blue phantoms in this game, not white phantoms. I'm not even gonna bother with these guys. This is just gonna take too long. They take forever to kill. Not even gonna worry.
Look at me. Again surrounded by evil warriors. Clear out the soldiers at the far end of this passage. The Lord's Path, just down yonder.
So, Ostrava Boletaria is our damsel in distress. He, like, always gets captured and you always have to save him, but by saving him constantly, you do get a really good sword, and it's one of the 2 swords that you have to fuse to get the Northern Regalia. So I would suggest saving him all the time. He'll give you the mausoleum key, or you can just kill him, and you can pick up the mausoleum key off of his corpse. Both are viable. If you don't want to save him. Or, you know, sometimes he glitches and you want to make sure that you actually get the mausoleum key. He's also a good character to kill if you want pure black character tendency, because you actually, like, get access to the area the mausoleum early in the game. So it's more beneficial to kill him early on if you want pure black character tendency. He's one of those NPCs that isn't going to hurt your game if he dies. Spear guys, stop. So I just got the wooden catalyst, which I'm probably going to need if I want to do cursed weapon builds. So I'm gonna go save Ostrava real quick. There's Ostrava.
Thanks.
Dark Moon Grass, which is really good. It's a healing item that pretty much gets rid of all... Pretty sure it gets rid of all negative status effects. Or maybe that's New Moon Grass, I don't remember. One of the 2. Maybe both. But it's really good. Forgot where the dogs are. So here are the Dougies. I hate these guys. If you aggro them all at once, it's very easy to die, just because they hit in such quick succession. So you want to try to get one or two at a time. So here's the Dredgeling Merchant.
Good day to you. Mostly
Could buy grass and fire bombs from him. We're not gonna need that. We're pretty good. Talk to him, he tells us to.
brave knight or depraved slave, and those who dare cling. It is the end. But hell, at least the demons don't send us to our deaths in back. Hard times. I'm sure.
Kind of gives you a neat perspective on, like, the demons. Because they aren't as corrupted as man. There's the dragon, he's flying around. See, how far are we minute-wise? 12 minutes? This area is very, very, very short. I feel like Boletaria 1-1 is one of the longest stages in the game. So this shouldn't be that big of an issue at all. I'm gonna wait for the dragon to go one more time, and I'm gonna try to run. Oh, what? So that area is always really difficult the first time, because if you aggro too many of the enemies, you could just get stun locked by the arrows, and fighting that little knight guy is really annoying. But once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. Oops, that was my bad. Okay, so I kind of missed our first crystal lizard. You're gonna see them here. They actually look more like lizards than they do in the other game. And then right after this, we're gonna fight Tower Knight, which, I love Tower Knight's boss music, and I love the cinematic beforehand, especially, like, the first time through. It's always very intimidating and really interesting. Also, Tower Knight's just really fun in general, because he's so, like, he's so just huge and, I don't know. It's fun to run around him. It feels like you're fighting a giant mech or something. It's really neat. It's an easy boss battle, but it's fun. Alright, so for this boss battle, you want to just, like, run straight through. Just ignore him. Tower Knight can wait. But watch out, because he does have projectiles, and they're giant laser beams. So, yeah, like that. So just watch out for him. You want to come up here. Killing these guys is your first priority, because they can actually stun lock you with the crossbows from far away. So you want to kill all of them before you go down and try to melee him. For mages, you could actually just use magic and lock onto his head from here. But there's only certain areas where you can actually shoot. And those areas leave you vulnerable to his projectiles. But it's pretty easy to just sort of like wait your turn and then like wait for him to finish throwing a projectile at you. His head is his weak point, which is kind of the issue for melee players. But once you hit his feet enough, he falls over and leaves his head exposed. I'll show you. I love the music for this boss too. Okay, so we want to make sure we have our... I'm gonna use Turpentine in this battle, but I want to make sure that I have correct grasses equipped, which I do. Oh, the dragon's still flying around. I don't know if you guys kind of saw that. Oops, that was my bad. I already got hit. I have plenty of crescent moon grass, but I'm kind of short on like my half moon grass and my other stuff because I've been really sloppy in this playthrough. So when you get backed up against the wall, the best idea is to kind of work your way around again. It's really not a good idea for you to try to fight him while you're backed up because he has a lot of jumping attacks where he can just step on you and like land on you. And it's kind of obnoxious. So I'm gonna try to kite him back over here by climbing up this area. Yeah, he's back out in the middle kind of. I remember the first time that I fought him, like the very first time that I played this game and I got this far, I actually got stuck on him because I got so intimidated by his size that I didn't really know what to do and I kept getting hit by some of his attacks. Like that one. He just has a lot of like AoE attacks around his feet, which is really annoying. And he has a jump back attack, so if you're actually attacking his feet, it can be really annoying. But aside from that, he's a really, really fun boss. Okay, so when you have the blue or the green thingies that kind of come from his feet, that's a good sign. It means that you're weakening his ankles, I guess. That's a way to describe it. And you wanna get that twice, though. The hardest part about this fight is getting his left leg, because that's the closest to his shield. And therefore the closest to a lot of his ground pound attacks. Like you just saw. So I'm gonna kind of back up here. He's up against a wall, which is not good for me. I want him closer. I'm just gonna kind of hang out until he moves over to me. And then run for it. His shield attack is really strange because it kind of hits in an arc. So where you think it's gonna hit is usually not where it's gonna hit. Okay, there we go. So now we weaken both of his ankles. You want to keep hitting... Once you weaken both of them twice, you want to keep hitting his right leg, which is the easiest for you to hit. And then eventually he'll fall over, like this. But once he falls over, you want to attack his head. We do slightly more damage, but still not enough. I should have upgraded my sword before this fight. At least getting him to fall is going to take a little bit less time this time, but still, it's kind of annoying. Okay, so now this is the hard part. If you get him near a wall, sometimes he'll fall in such a way that it's impossible to get to his head. It's really obnoxious. So he's almost down. We just gotta hit him one more time. Let's see what we're at time-wise. I think 21 minutes? It's not that bad. I always find that strafing around the side of his right foot keeps you pretty far away from most of his ground pound attacks. Although he does stomp with his right foot, but that's really easy to evade. Once you see him lift his foot, it's just like, oh. Pretty much his right side is really vulnerable. So we're gonna return to the Nexus and level up. And then, oh, I forgot to show you guys, but pretty much where I was standing, near the next area that you're supposed to go, which is, 1-3, there's a big thick fog, and I'm not allowed to cross it. It's very similar to the Lord Vessel fog in Dark Souls. You have to beat, and it's only specific to Boletaria, it's nowhere else in the game. You have to beat the final boss of one of the other Archstones. And once you beat the final boss of one of the other Archstones, that will get unlocked and you can finish Boletaria. But I usually save the end of Boletaria for one of the last, level of, or one of the last 3-2 of Tower of Latria, because the Man-Eater is the hardest boss in the game for me. Like, I almost always need to summon for Man-Eater. I can't handle that. I'm sorry, guys. Man-Eater's my weakness. So I'm just gonna repair my stuff, because repairing is really important. And then I'm gonna level up. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna level up, so that way you guys can see what my build is gonna be, which is not gonna be that impressive, because I'm just dumping points in vitality, endurance, and strength, but for those of you who are curious, I want to make sure I get to 22 strength, I believe. Let's see what the Purple Flame Shield requires. Purple Flame Shield requires 22, so let me eat some souls real quick. So we're gonna go to Stonefang next, and we need that Purple Flame Shield.
Soul of the mind, key to life's ether.
Cool. So, Purple Flame Shield is a strength-specific shield, and it has amazing... Well, let's look at the stats real quick. It has, oh, I don't think it says fire damage. I think it's 100% resistance to fire. It's something ridiculous. Oh wait, fire defense 115. I don't know if it actually says on the stats. It's ridiculous. Really useful against enemies like Flame Lurker, which somebody was complaining about, or saying that they always had trouble with, but they have a lot of fun against him. Flame Lurker spams a lot of sort of like EMP type blasts that are all fire damage, so having the Purple Flame Shield is really useful. I also really like the design of the Purple Flame Shield, but yeah, it's gonna be our build. and then probably the Dragon Bone Smasher, and then I'll move on to sort of the Dark Silver Shield. But yeah, thank you guys for joining my videos. Sorry they were really sloppy today. Boletaria is usually the sloppiest I get because it requires the littlest amount of skill. Except for later areas of Boletaria, but it doesn't really require you to actually like put much effort into it, so it's really easy to just get like a weapon, two-hand it, and just run through the stage hitting things. For the rest of the levels, they're not quite as easy, but they require less parrying than Boletaria does. Parrying in this game is way less important than, unless you do PvP. Parrying in PvP is really important, but parrying in PvE isn't as important as it is in Dark Souls. In Dark Souls, it's amazing. I'm not even gonna front on that, but I think that they fixed the parrying issue in Dark Souls quite a bit, which is good. But yeah, so the rest of the enemies from here on out are usually pretty easy to kill just by stun locking them, two-handed sword, or by backstabbing them, or using arrows. I'm going to be using a lot of arrows in Valley of Defilement. Valley of Defilement definitely is really good with, if you have a projectile, it's really, really, really useful. I'll probably get the spider flame bow. Yeah. I know a lot of people like that. It does require a dex stat though, which I'm kind of worried about because I don't really have a high dex stat, but we'll figure that out. So yeah, thank you for joining me, and sorry this video was so long. Let me know if this length is a good size for you guys, and I should have 3 videos up today, so wow. Thank you guys.